welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Wind Up on YouTube, and I am going to introduce to you today a really cool combination of Relinquished type monsters with Skull Servants. I thought these would be a really great combination to make a really cool twisted zombie slash Relinquished deck. It's kind of just all based off of level 1, Link 1 type stuff, Exceed, rank 1 type stuff. Fusions are all level 1 too, so it's kind of a level 1 theme deck, but anyway, let's just jump right into this one, okay? I'm using 3 Skull Servants, 2 Gozukis. They pretty much, after you normal summon or special summon them, you can basically activate card effect while it's on field. Send 1 zombie type monster from deck to grave. If this thing goes to grave, you can banish a zombie to special summon a zombie from hand. Really good card. Mizuki is at 2 because you don't really need 3 in this version of the deck because I run Frame. Lord Omega, he recycles Mizuki back to grave during my opponent's standby phase, and if I want, I can kind of just banish him off the field to keep him safe until I use Mizuki again next turn. Just constantly keep doing that over and over. That's just a little cool infinite loop play until your opponent stops it, just to get Mizuki's effect off, to kind of just go for a Wight Princess over and over again from graveyard using Mizuki. But anyway, moving on, we're going to have 2 Shorinori Solitaires. This guy, just tribute him off the field or any other zombie while he's on field to summon out Unizombie. Unizombie's your go-to guy in the deck. He's going to start the deck off hands down every duel. Most people are going to Ash Blossom this thing. I'm telling you, if you get a chance to activate his effect, do it. If your opponent stops it, boo-hoo, cry about it later. Just make sure you get this guy to go off. We have 3 the Lady in Waits. She's pretty good. She decreases monsters' attack and defense times 300 equal to their level or rank. She also, during normal summon or special summon, she can send a Wight Prince from deck to grave, and that'll activate his effect, which will allow you to send once he's sent to grave, he allows you to send Skull Servant and Lady in Wait from deck to grave. This card, this card, this card, this card, and this card become Skull Servant while in the graveyard. This card, however, is not Skull Servant. He is King of the Skull Servants, and he gets 1,000 attack for every copy of King of the Skull or Skull Servant in your graveyard. That's a lot of attack points with a bunch of Skull Servants. So I run 2 Unizombies. This guy's just basically going to let you discard a card, increase the level of a monster you target. Send a card from deck to grave, monster-wise, increase the level of a target. Simply just a card to go through your deck or to go through your hand and send stuff to the graveyard. This deck relies heavily on sending things to grave and banishing stuff from graveyard in order to make cool plays. Lady in Wait protects your monsters that are level 3 or lower from spell cards, trap cards, and effects, and they cannot be destroyed by battle. Really great card, the Lady in Wait, but that's only for zombies. Wight Baking, this guy is pretty cool, so if your monsters would be destroyed by battle or card effect, I think it's a level 3 or lower zombie, yes. If a level 3 or lower zombie you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can discard this card instead. That's a great effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard by any means, you can add 2 monsters, different monsters, from your deck to your hand that are Skull Servant and or specifically list Skull Servant in their text, except for Wight Baking, then discard 1 card. I like his first effect more than his second, but the second one can be useful during the beginning of the game. We have Wight Mare. This guy, you can discard him from your hand during your turn to target one of your banished Skull Servants or Wight Mares and return it to graveyard. Second effect is you can target one of your banished The Lady in Waits or King of the Skull Servants and special summon it. It's kind of cool. I like him at 2. I like this guy at 2. I'm not changing those numbers. If you want to change it up, go right ahead. By all means, you guys have the freedom to do so. Wight Prince is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Also, he can be one of my least favorites because he doesn't really save the duel, but he does get the deck flowing. It gets the train moving, you know. It starts all the crazy carnage. It's going to send 2 more monsters from your deck to your graveyard, or from your hand to the graveyard for that matter, if you have them. And that gives him 3,000 for this card and 2 other monsters with Skull Servant in their name being in the graveyard. So this guy's really important. That's why I run a lot of Link 1 monsters. I'm not gonna say a lot, but I do run Link 1 monsters just to kind of, if I don't have a choice, I'll normal summon this and then go right into Link Rebo or Relinquished Anima just to get his effect to go off, which will allow you to send Skull Servant from hand or deck, Skull and the Lady in Wait from deck or hand to graveyard. He also has a second effect. You can banish him and 2 other Skull Servants to special summon one of these guys only from the deck. So do be careful if you think you're going to get that effect and you have 3 of these in your hand. That just does not work. This guy gains 1,000 attack points for every King of the Skull and Skull Servant in your graveyard. All of these are Skull Servants in graveyard. So for every other King of the Skull and every Skull Servant in grave, he gains 1,000. That's a lot of attack points. Plus, if he's destroyed by battle, you can bring him back by banishing a King of the Skull or a Skull Servant. A really, really cool card. He's just the boss monster in your deck. That's why he's at 3. Archfiend's Awakening. This guy is kind of cool because he cannot be destroyed in battle except with ritual monsters, and he cannot be destroyed by other monster effects except those of ritual monsters. So he's protected from monsters except for rituals. Spell and traps, I don't think you can really protect him too much from other spell and trap cards, but monster effects can't really do anything to him. Monsters can't run him over except they're ritual monsters. So unless your opponents are running ritual cards, this guy is perfect in any deck. Just hands down a really cool defense card. You know, especially if they're not running stuff with piercing damage. It's not saying he can't be affected by other monsters, but he can't be destroyed by card effects, by monster card effects. So there is a little bit of a, you know, loophole to get around him. I'm not saying he's invincible. He's just really good. Relinquished, basically the one-eyed, one-horned purple people eater. Man, you gotta love this card. He snatches a monster. If he battles a stronger monster while equipped with a monster that he snatched, your opponent takes all the damage. And then you can snatch another monster. Yay! Lore of Darkness, draw power, instant fusion. That's for Thousand Eyes restrict. 1 for 1. Everything's level 1. Self-explanatory. Pre-prep. Search for Relinquish. Search for spell card because nobody wants to wait on a draw. Card destruction. Just standard. Any deck that involves sending stuff to graveyard, you're going to want this. Foolish Burial. You're going to want that too. Preparation of Rites. Add 1 level 7 or lower ritual monster from your deck to your hand. Then you can add a ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. No one cares about the second effect for this particular deck build. It's just to get my Archfiend's Awakening out of my deck. This card is for him and him only. I don't use this to summon Relinquished. If I do draw into Relinquished and I have this card, I'll hold on to this and I'll wait to get into a Relinquished fusion. This card is for you and only you. No, I'm just messing around. Call by the Grave, man. This thing is great for hand traps. 2 black illusion rituals, of course. Burial from a different dimension. This thing's going to give your King of the Skull an extra 3,000 attack if he's on board when you activate this. So great because it's a quick play spell. So target any 3 banished, return them to the graveyard. Hand destruction. Standard. Just discard 2 cards. Both players draw 2 cards, you know. Great. Relinquished Fusion. Pretty much Relinquish plus any effect monster equals this guy. Wonderful, wonderful card, and it's a quick play. This card is ultimate defense and its draw power. Target 2 of your banished zombie monsters with 0 defense, shuffle them both into the deck, then draw 1. That's him, that's this, that's this, that's this, that's this. Just letting you guys know. Plus you can banish a zombie you control that's face up and take no damage for the turn. That's battle or effect. Great continuous trap card. On to the extra deck. We have 1 Relinquished Anima, 2 Link Rebos, 2 Vampire Suckers because I forgot to take them out, but they're going to stay in here for the video. Congratulations. 2 Night Gales for a cheap combo into AA Zeus because this is a level 1 deck. Might as well rank in, attack directly, overlay in main phase 2, and then have board wipe whenever you want. This guy is easy to summon with Unizombie, any level 3 monster in graveyard, plus Mizuki being sent to grave. That's pretty much the whole strategy to get him out. Datascape Fox or Virtual World Kyubi, however you pronounce that, I don't care. This card is cool because it has some type of banishing effect. When your monster declares an attack, you can return 1 banished monster to the owner's graveyard. Just kind of cool. I use it just for that. Sigma, you play him in the extra monster zone. This guy is invincible. Hands down, best synchro monster ever made. Thousand Eyes Restrict, standard, just take opponent's monster, eat it, and let it die or link summon something. And then last but not least, 2 Millennium Eyes Restricts. The side deck is not really a side deck, it's just some extra cards I thought about running, but I'll show you what those are as well. I'm not really going to explain what they do, just going to go over them. because I was considering using them. Sorry about not uploading for almost a week. I was under the weather with a minor cold, sore throat, but now that I'm better, I'm going to be bringing you guys some videos pretty much as much as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to drop me a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. That way you're up to date with all of my latest videos. See you guys later. Wind Up is out.